source, that's okay.
We do have breaking news today, and you're the guy that's behind this. Over to you, Moose.
We're going to Montreal.
Ta-da!
How about that?
We are taking our show on the road. Thursday and Friday, we'll be on the air from the Stanley Cup Finals. How cool is that?
Yes, live Thursday, Friday from Montreal, downtown Montreal, in advance of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. We will be there live.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Good afternoon, Canada. Welcome to the Rod Pedersen Show, and happy Canada Day. I feel naked, Darren Dupont. I don't have my bell with me. It's a very big day.
You have nothing. You don't have flags. You don't have
No,
bells,
we are
phones.
live from the penthouse at the Chateau Champlain. It is Canada's daytime sports talk show. And for the first time since we've been doing this show, 516 episodes ago, Moose, we're in the Eastern time zone, where it is the afternoon. And I say hey to everybody and our regular viewers. We are at the Stanley Cup Final. It is the travel day, although I think the Habs got home last night following their Game 2 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning. But for the next 2 hours, we're going to be talking about Montreal. We're going to be talking about Tampa Bay. We're going to be talking a little CFL here today. You wanted to talk about the Phoenix Suns because they're going to the NBA Finals.
That's right.
We got it. One of my most special friends is in the house. Give us a yoop, Bobby. Youpie. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
We can talk around here.
Yeah,
It's all
Coach
good.
Bob Merrier is here, and he's going to be right on the set. And we've got so much to get into, Darren. I don't even really know where to start other than this wonderful crew that we have here. These guys are absolute pros, man, that have set us up. Hey, there we go. Yeah, listen, don't be shy. They're all worried that they're going to make a mistake. I said, guys, who told you that we're perfect? Because we're not.
I know.
Have you? He's already made mistakes? Okay.
This is how this rolls.
That's
right?
Ian.
Exactly.
I got all their names.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we made it, and this is a huge kudos to you, Moose, because everybody's giving me all these plaudits on social media saying, looks great, it's awesome, it's big time. You did it all. You actually stuffed me in my room to
yeah. This
anxiety.
morning you were kind of lurking around. And I'm like, you go and let us just take care of it, and you come down at like 11, and we'll take care of the show. So what did you do this morning?
Had coffee, talked on the phone, went for a little bit of a walk, but let's just get into it, okay? Because we've come from Western Canada, where I thought we were under a lockdown, and the world's nowhere near getting back to normal. I'm watching all these images on TV from Montreal and them beating my Vegas Golden Knights, thinking, hey, it's normal in Montreal. And we get to La Belle Province yesterday, and it's not a lot different than home, Moose. It's pretty quiet. Like Bob is going to tell us what exactly is going on here, but maybe it's because it's a holiday today. You could shoot a cannon down the streets.
Well,
Quiet.
yeah, and I've kind of learned, it's a little bit doubled, like the two demographics, right? We see 25,000 people outside the Bell Center for the games, and you and I, after a travel day, we watch it from our hotel rooms overlooking, downtown Montreal, and you can see the packs of people. So the young people aren't worried about COVID. They're out 25,000.
Clearly.
But our colleagues and, in the media, they're doing it from home. They're still doing Zoom calls from home. They're not leaving their rooms and those types of things. So, you're on the phone with Chris Nyland, and we're having dinner yesterday, and we're talking to John Lewin, we're talking to all our friends, and they're not leaving, you know? So as much as it looks open on TV, it kind of is it feels half open, half not open.
Yeah, well, listen, it feels a little bit like camping. Like I said, I didn't bring my bell, and we don't have Director Jordan to hit the show horn for the Quick Six show topics, but this is what I want to point out. I'm so grateful that Coach Bob Merrier has come down to join us for probably 3 or 4 segments here today because he's a very busy guy. But we had heard, Knuckles Nyland was going to come down, and, Nate Thompson, we thought perhaps. John Lou, as you mentioned. So we get to Montreal yesterday, and Knuckles is like, yeah, I'm not coming down there. I live 30 miles out of downtown. I'm working from home, Rod. So why don't you come out and do an interview on my lawn? And John Lou, same thing. He's like, I'm doing Zoom calls at noon Eastern. So if I can come in on a Zoom, and I'm like, I didn't come to Montreal to do Zooms. So we got set up here. Bob's going to host us, and we're going to talk about a little bit of what's going on here in the Stanley Cup Final. And by the way, the warm-up, as always, what hasn't changed is brought to you by ECOL Electric, your complete electrical distributor with locations in Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. ECOL Electric, let's get to work. Now, regarding the game last night, Andrei Vasilevsky turned away 42 shots as the Lightning eked out a 3-1 win over the Montreal Canadiens in Game 2. The Habs peppered the Tampa Bay goal with 43 shots compared with just 23 from Game 1. But they couldn't solve Vasi, and now they're 2-0. Tampa coming to Montreal for Game 3 tomorrow night. And as the Canadian press story says, if there was good news in Wednesday's result, it was the fact that the Canadiens looked like a different hockey team than in Game 1 when they were routed 5-1. Bob's going to speak to that. I'm not going to go any further. He'll explain the Canadiens that they're getting better. But news this morning. Can you ring the bell?
Yeah.
Here's the breaking news. The city of Montreal has announced it will set up outdoor viewing parties to allow fans to watch the Canadiens play in the Stanley Cup Final a day after Quebec Public Health denied a request to allow more fans into the Bell Center. The city said the free viewings will take place in the city's entertainment district, beginning with Friday's Game 3. The announcement comes as the Quebec government confirms it refused a request by the Canadiens organization to allow about 10,500 fans into the team's home arena, which would have represented half capacity. It is the biggest rink in the NHL, by the way. The government said in a statement this morning that it decided to maintain the current limit of 3,500 people in order to limit the spread of COVID-19, but the health department says it will increase the number of people allowed to gather at outdoor festivals and events up to 5,000 beginning Friday. The government says people who are seated must be kept 1.5 meters from those who don't live with them, and masks are recommended when people are moving. See what I'm saying? We came all the way out here and thought it was going to be different, and it's not.
We didn't go to the U.S. Let's just put it that way. We're still in Canada, so we still have to deal with some of these COVID restrictions. But you know what? That's good news. You know, we'll probably find ourselves somewhere close to one of those on Friday night. But you know what? They're trying to accommodate. You know, they're hoping Game 4 that we thought maybe they'd open up the stadium to 10,000, right? You and I went down there. They put 3,500 people in the arena to watch the road game on a television. People are paying $1,500 a ticket for those. So
yeah. Well, very typical of me. I walk up to the ticket office at the Bell Center. How do you say it, Bob? Belletary? You're right. Billetterie. I walk up to the ticket office and I'm like, hey, can I get a couple of tickets for the game tonight to watch it on the big screen? And she's like, no. She's like, sold out days ago. I don't even know what those tickets were worth.
It was 90 minutes to puck drop. We
thought
we could roll in and get a ticket. Yeah, no.
Usually we can. So it was $16,000, the tickets for actual Friday's Game 3. Is that what it is? Does that sound right? That's what I heard. $16,000 for Game 3.
And we got guys from back home saying, can you get us cheap tickets? I'll fly down.
Literally asking us that. Well, that's nothing for a Barney Big Nuts like Bob, but for us, I don't think that we'll be doing that. So I guess we'll be watching it from an outdoor viewing party.
We'll find a spot.
But you know what? They asked where we watched the game. I watched it from my hotel room last night because it was a long day of travel and lining up these shows and so forth. And let's just talk about the hockey game for a second last night. The first period was dull, if I may. It was 0-0 after the first period. Then it picked up in the second in terms of pace. But, you know, they always say if you allow a goal in the first minute of a period or the last goal of a period, it can be debilitating to you. And that's exactly what happened to the Montreal Canadiens last night. The thing is, though, I'd like to think that these hockey myths or rules of thumb, maybe, don't pertain in a Stanley Cup Final when you've got the two best teams still standing in the National Hockey League. Why would a goal unravel you like that? But that's what everybody's talking about today.
They play a factor all the time, no matter what the situation is. Especially, you know, you look at the Canadiens, and they haven't been in the situation. Tampa has, right? They've overcome this last year, so they know what this is like. But it's tough. I mean, that goal with 0.3 seconds left, boy, that changed the game because Montreal had played so well. And then Tampa came out in the third period and played probably their best stretch of hockey that they played throughout the game. And what was interesting is when you go into the break like that, you know, first five, last five, you know, they talk about that, coaches locking that down. Your mindset when you're in the locker room for that whole intermission is, man, if we'd only gotten out of this period, man, we just let in that goal. So you're spending that 18-minute intermission only thinking about that goal instead of thinking, hey, we're okay. We're only down a goal. We're okay, right? So they never were unable to recover.
Well, pretty glum in Montreal today is what I sensed with their team down 0-2, and I can't wait to talk to Bob about this because you know hard and fast they're feeling that this series will switch when it comes back to the Bell Center, and it very well may. They outshot the Lightning handily. Vasilevsky was the story last night. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And I guess the Prairie Mobile text line is open. We brought it with us. Prairie Mobile, you can reach us at 306-840-8777. They're your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. If anybody needs to make a call, I have a phone, guys. And Ray is watching in the 6 from the Kitchener area. And he says, Bonjour, Rod. You guys are looking good in Montreal. Enjoy your trip. Would have been perfect if the Expos were still around. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. Which reminds me, Darren. So we're staying at the Chateau Champlain. We're on the very top floor, as you can see, of this beautiful hotel. It's where the Saskatchewan Roughriders stayed for years and years and years when we came here. And so, as somebody had said, it's old, but it's very well located. Right? It's a block from the Bell Center, by the way, where we are. So the second that we got in here yesterday, blown away at the renovations. Beautifully modern, the Chateau Champlain. And I said, Darren, come here. There's something you got to see. Took him to the end of the lobby because there's this Maurice Richard statue in the lobby of the hotel. We go to the end of the lobby. Where is it? It was gone. So there happened to be 3 hotel staff that were standing there, and they overheard us. And they said, no, we have the statue, but it's in storage. And I said, can we get it for the show? And it was like trying to break somebody out of prison. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Honestly, well, we got the rocket right here. And I don't know what to say about this. There it is. This thing, honestly, it's about 18, maybe 24 inches tall. For me, it might as well be 24 feet tall. This thing adorned the lobby of the Chateau Champlain for years and years and years. Now, the staff here, Terry, who's taken such great care of us
Yes.
since we arrived, Terry's like, where's this show air? And I said, Game Plus Television. It's available all across Quebec on Videotron, cable carrier, Rogers, Eastlink, Game Plus Television, plus YouTube and Facebook. And he was like, okay, I'm going to get you these forum seats too. But he's like, if my boss is watching, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. And I'm like, no. Hey, nothing but the utmost of care for these artifacts.
Yeah.
Right? Like, does it get better than this?
I know. I'm missing the coffee table. My instinct was to put my coffee cup down, but that's...
Don't touch
but
it.
that's like, I feel like I'd light on fire if I accidentally did that. So, no, they look great.
These were their season seats at the Forum for the Chateau Champlain, their own seats.
But keep this shot for a second. Go back to that shot. This is what they do in Montreal. And this is what I'm learning about the hockey team and how much the little details matter, right? You put the Marriott Chateau right on the seat, right? It's printed right in the seat. And
I think that was after the fact, actually.
Probably
for the story,
right.
we'll say it was on there.
As far as anybody knows.
But that's what they do in Montreal. I come every second year for the tennis when the men are here for the Rogers Cup, and they do that on your club seats. We get the club seats sometimes, and they put your name right on the club seat, and it's the details, right?
Yeah,
Very
absolutely. Just continuing, as I said, the Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. Reach us right here at the Chateau Champlain. From Brady, the biggest Habs fan in Western Canada, he says, Rod, this series ain't over yet. We've been down and out before. We got to clean up the stupid mistakes on defense. This ain't a pee-wee hockey team we are playing anymore. This is the greatest team in the NHL, and we got to find a way to put the damn puck in the net more than once. 2 very important games coming up that we need to win. Go Habs, go! That's from Brady. So yeah, doesn't feel good to be down 0-2 to the best team in the National Hockey League, which, by the way, our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, and you can vote on Twitter and Facebook, can the Canadiens come back to win the Stanley Cup? And our Canada Day poll on Twitter, and I don't have the Facebook results in front of me, but 61% of respondents saying no, Montreal cannot come back. Now, after they lost 5-1 in Game 1, do you remember what our poll question was Tuesday morning? It was, is this series over?
Right.
And over 70% of respondents said, no, it's not over. And you said, we just had that question the other day. 2 days ago, as a matter of fact. It's different now. They're down 0-2.
It is, and I said this on Twitter, and this morning I wanted to post a picture of, the sun's out, it's a beautiful morning. It's like, hey, for the Habs fans that are following, be optimistic this morning because you played probably your best game. Well, you played for sure your best game of the 2, but one of your better games, I think, in a while, even though they've been playing really well. If they play like that, they can absolutely win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, winning 4 in a row, they've been able to do that. This is Tampa. It's a little different. John Cooper's been, he won't let Montreal win 4 in a row, but Montreal can absolutely come back in this series. They're in a good spot.
Well, we are nearing the end of our time in the warm-up, and Coach Bob Merrier is going to join us in the next segment. I just want to cover a couple of quick other things. Brian is watching in Curtis, Ontario, the home of Ricky Foley. He's watching on Game Plus TV, and he says, I was watching the CEBL on the weekend. Do their games only go to 90 points? Because it said that in the corner of the screen. Great question, Brian, and I love the fact that we're the go-to for CEBL questions and information, but I have yet to figure out the Elam ending for the CEBL. So, who else is he going to ask but us, right? But it's the Elam ending.
It's the Elam ending, which, is it 8 points or is it?
I thought it was 9.
9 points? Whatever it is, when they reach the last, again, I got to brush up on the Elam ending. I wasn't prepared for the question. But basically, with 5 minutes left or 4 minutes left, it's 3 minutes left. They set whoever's leading, they set the final score at 8 points. So if you're at 75 points, they'd set it at 83, and it's first team to 83. So if you're behind by 15 or 20 points, you could potentially go on a run, right?
And win the game.
And that's why every game will be different. When you get in the final 3 minutes, they'll set the Elam ending. It's a little bit of, hey, next goal wins type mentality when you're in the driveway. They set that score, and it's a target. So it keeps every game exciting.
I think what the CEBL would be happy about is that people are asking about it. And tonight, by the way, the Ottawa Blackjacks visit the Hamilton Honey Badgers. So we are your source for CEBL information. Now, just a couple quick last things. Some things have moved in the CFL. Not all good. Martin Bedard retiring from the Alouettes this morning. Two-time Grey Cup champion with Montreal. I think we all know why. Forrest Hightower, an outstanding defensive back with the Ottawa Redblacks, who's been on this show, Darren, as you know, retiring this morning. But the government of Canada yesterday relaxed its quarantine restrictions for American CFL players coming into Canada. They've reduced it from 14 days to 7 days. We'll talk about that a little later on. Now, Bob's very close friends with Alouettes quarterback Vernon Adams. They are, from what I understand, in quarantine. Like, I'm not talking to a lot of CFL players right now. This is what our focus is. But the point I had written down here, CFL COVID protocols, too harsh? And you want to debate that because, frankly, I think they're somewhat ridiculous. You don't. But since we've got to Montreal and the phone calls that we've had with NHL people, and this is the way the NHL has always dealt with us, Darren, they've welcomed us in. They're talking about the unbelievable testing protocol that they continue to go through in the National Hockey League. And that's staff of teams that aren't even playing right now. This is head office people.
That's right.
Right? So while I think it's restrictive, you have a point on that, and when you come back later, we'll discuss that.
Yeah, we can do that later, for sure.
And also, breaking news today, the Arizona Coyotes are hiring Andre Tourigny as their new head coach to replace Rick Tocchet, who parted ways with the hockey club in May after missing the playoffs this year. Andre Tourigny, most recently head coach of Canada's team at the World Juniors, plus the Ottawa 67s from the O. Coach Marrier joins us next. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Happy Canada Day from the penthouse at Chateau Champlain. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus Television Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out CapitalFordLincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
And we are live from the Chateau Champlain penthouse, 1 block from the Bell Center. It is an off day in the Stanley Cup Final. It's the Rod Pedersen Show on Game Plus TV across all 10 provinces and 31 states. And what's very exciting for us is that we are available all across Quebec on Eastlink, Videotron cable carrier, Rogers. So Game Plus, I see why they wanted to send us out here for the Stanley Cup Final. We appreciate that. Now, a man that really needs no introduction, one of my closest friends, Bob Merrier, sober coach of the Stars. I talk about you, Bob, on the show all the time. You know that, right?
Yes. Often I send a little text, and I'm amazing how fast you can do that. So let me first start by saying bienvenue à Montréal. Welcome
thank you. Merci.
Welcome to Montreal. I like how quick it was a decision made, and I was like, hey, Bob, I'm coming in. I was like, great.
It's fast.
It was
like
fast.
Your life.
It was, but I'm not. I'm moving at the snail's pace of Montreal traffic coming today. They've got all the roads closed off because of what's about to go on. Some of it's construction, some of it's not. But as you can tell, last night was a bit of a downer, and there was a pall over it. And let's talk Canada Day in Quebec. It's not Canada's favorite holiday in Quebec, obviously. Last week is La Fête Nationale. It is definitely, for me, a Canada Day, and if we were on the West Island of Montreal, it would feel like Canada Day.
Yeah.
But in downtown Montreal, first of all, because of COVID, the offices are empty. Not a lot of people are
That's
working
what
in
I'm
their office.
saying, but I wasn't expecting that when I got here. I thought you were wide open almost, man.
No, not at all. And I've been living in Florida for all of the pandemic, I think, and then I came back last Saturday, and a very difficult transition. I was in Vegas for some of the games, and for 2 of those games, and I was, again, amazed at how everything was wide open. Everything. Like it doesn't exist, except you go to the airport and all of a sudden it gets the same. That airport gets you back into that little reality. And then I flew from Las Vegas to Florida. At the airport you're fine, and then you just see everyone tearing their masks off, and it's like COVID doesn't exist.
Right.
I've been fully vaccinated for 4 months, but it doesn't matter. In Quebec, it doesn't matter. They don't really care. And like I said, I was pretty surprised to hear that they weren't going to go with 10,000 people in the building.
Right, and you're a little more right-wing than other provinces in this country, correct?
I think now we are, yes, definitely. This guy has done, we're going to sit and talk about the pandemic. It's been really hard for all of us. Nobody hasn't gotten away with a free pass. But I think now, in lieu that the Canadians are in the playoffs, and how can you think that having 25,000, I'd say there was 50 or 60,000 people on the street the other night when we clinched against Vegas, and it's going to be worse tomorrow. And
is that right?
You can't put them in. I have it only in Montreal would they break into a stadium. I would not be surprised if that happened. I'm not telling people to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
Okay. So, folks, first of all, I'm just so darn happy that you're here, Bob. I really am, and you know that. I really appreciate you coming down here. I really do. To the recovery community, you need no introduction. But for our viewers, they've heard me talk about you, but can you please just tell folks about yourself, by the way? I was telling a friend last night, you ran this town for a very long time.
I don't know if I ran it, but I went from being a man about town, and one that, it's interesting, I did Mitch Melnick's show the other day, who was a TSN radio guy here in Montreal, and he said they used to introduce you as Pete Merrier's brother. My brother's a well-known English radio disc jockey here, has been in radio forever, and then it sort of turned into my recovery got me. I used to be infamous, and now I have notoriety. There's a difference, and for my case, 17 years ago I came into recovery. My life was spent I have about 25 years of low-grade depression and a lot of alcoholism and drug addiction in me. And I had a job. There was no low bottom. There was gas in the tank and cash in the bank. So I was convinced if I didn't drink out of a paper bag or I didn't live in a van down by the river, I didn't really have a problem. Well, that came to a crashing halt on January 2nd, 2004, when, I don't get into the dirty details, but I ended up in a hospital in Southern California. And I was laid up for 3 weeks. Like I said, I never go into the details. I find it really kind of like the lurid part's not important.
But you're a recovery coach.
Yes, I am a recovery coach today. So fast forward, I came in. I did not want to go to treatment. I did not want to go to rehab.
Nobody does.
No, I did not want to do any of that. I had a lot of warning shots that, when normal people that drink normally would have no problem saying, that's a pretty big warning shot. The highway of life is trying to tell you something. And I was like, the blinders were on. It wasn't me. You got the wrong guy. I got a job. Just leave me alone. And ultimately, I ended up in a bad place. And from that bad place, and like literally, I had nothing. I was starting from nowhere. I was a grown man. I was 39 years old. My 39th birthday was in rehab. And I remember thinking, like, who the hell am I? It sounds like an after-school special. It's melodramatic. I was looking in the mirror. I was like, I'm a complete stranger to myself. And then the reality was, I look back on it today, and it was exactly where I was supposed to be. And if you believe in the path, and the path is where it takes you, having sort of being able to embrace it, there was no, how do I say this without sounding, there wasn't a lot of fanfare. There wasn't a lot of like, oh, here he comes. The miracle was, it was like, okay, get busy, get your recovery going. I would tell people, I have a sponsor that was kind of hard on me. I've been sober now for 6 months, and hit the brakes on the car. He looked at me, you've never drawn a sober breath in your life. You don't know anything about this. And I remember thinking, well, I haven't had a drink. Well, so, yes.
But I just want to fast forward to now.
Yes.
So, you...
Okay, well, I'll give you the long, and then fast forward to, I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I went back into production. I worked in live production for years. And I came back I started realizing, hey, I like kind of helping people and stuff like that. And I took the same course you took with Earl Hightower. God, that's 11 years ago now. And I was 5 years into my recovery, and started from there, and really, again, small, no fanfare, and it moved pretty quickly. I had an acumen for doing this. If there was ever the duck to water thing, that was me when it comes to doing, well, it's not a fun job. You know that. Yeah. It's not fun. You get to walk into somewhere and people need help, and no one wants to go. No one says, hey, the interventionist is here. I'll just get in the car and leave quietly through whatever versions. And then, again, I get through most of that training, and I start building this business. And in 2014, a case I can openly speak about is I land Rob Ford. And that puts me on a fast track in my business globally, because we all know what that was like in 2014 in the summer. Right now, July 1st was our first day.
Wow.
So it was 7 years ago today, and we were walking through with the longest parade I've ever been on in walking in the same type of hot, sticky, humid weather. And I was wearing, again, I feel tomorrow I will dress down, people. Believe me, I will not look like this tomorrow. It's like casual Friday here, or casual Thursday. But moving forward, I became into this. I started working in a higher stratosphere of what I did. The phone never stopped ringing after I got Rob Ford as a client. So I am a recovery coach, and what that means is I articulate treatment plans, post-acute care, so after you go to treatment. And some of the people come to me beforehand, and we try and get them righted until usually, inevitably, they end up in treatment. And then when they leave, to do that. You're friends with the Governor General of Recovery, as far as I'm concerned, and he should be a national treasure in Saskatchewan, Mr. Ranteed. And again, talk about a lovely human being. I look at him as sort of my true north of how you want to work in this business.
Well, and that's the thing. So that's how Bob and I know each other, and a lot of mutual friends. But I want to swing it around to the love of the Canadian. I mean, you're sitting here talking to these guys about, man, can you explain how much they love the team in this town? Like, Bob, this run, what's it done for this city?
It is look, I was around for 93, clearly it was a different, I'm a Bob McKenzie, if he's listening today, I still owe him an apology for 1993.
What'd you do?
After we won the Cup, there was a bit of rioting going on. We were at a bar, a local watering hole called Grumpy's, and I may have accosted him that night. I may have been yelling in his ear, nobody believed in us, which is the same story. Montreal kind of came through this with a definite chip on their shoulder. Everyone in, I think of local boy Button there, Craig Button.
Oh, yeah.
Craig Button,
he's eating a lot of
went to
crow.
high school with me, and he said, the Canadians won't even win one game and this and that. And, well, we all know what happened. And I think Montreal's relished this run because nobody took them seriously. And I read the internet and people say, like, they had no business being there. The league's a joke. They played within the same rules. I could say the same thing for Tampa Bay and their $18 million over. They played within the rules. The Canadians had 26 games in 48 nights. Never in the NHL history has any team ever entertained the notion of being that busy. So they had a rough
This
ride.
is in the playoffs?
Pardon
They
me?
played that many games in the playoffs?
They
I did not
played
hear that
this
stat.
year after they got the COVID protocols.
break, right.
They had to condense their schedule more than any other team that was dealing with this. Some teams that worked to their advantage. Like Dallas had happened early, so they were able to jig their scheduling, but it didn't happen here. So building that in, I think Montreal sort of went. Everyone was looking at it when they were down 3-1, and people were like, "Oh, what the hell's going to happen?" And good old Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk came back for Montreal. Gave us a solid. The pass gets cut off by Cole Caulfield. And that was a little, again, I talk about that spark of hope, but started then. And I don't think they looked back. They started playing as a galvanized team. And I think it's safe to say that everyone knows they're playing for Weber and they're playing for Price. They really want, when they have a great mixture. This town goes from kissing your ass to biting your ass. I feel bad for Marc Bergevin, but now they're all kissing his ass, so things are looking up. And no, but it's true because it works like that in Montreal. The passion in this sports. Now, again, I live in America. I live in Florida. I go to a lot of hockey games all over the place. I've been to games everywhere. I have never been to a barn as loud as my barn. I was in Vegas the other night. The show was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Guys, it's Vegas, so I was just waiting for them, I thought at one point Center Ice was going to pop off and people were going to fly out of there, maybe monkeys or something.
I thought you and I were going to come to blows in that series.
Yeah.
I'm not joking, Bob.
I was hitting you hard. The best team will win, Rod. The best team will win. Well, what's happened, Rod? Did the best team win? And did the best team win, Rod?
Apparently. I'm okay with it now. I'm okay with it.
Well, okay. But the Canadians have relished this role of nobody gives them any respect. So because of that, it's a great story. And they've built on it. And we have this mix of youngsters, the Canadians, everything's scrutinized here. Oh, they've blown draft picks. I will give them that. I mean, sadly, Jonathan Drouin's not playing with the team, and he's taken a mental leave of absence. And I'm not one to talk about any of that. I totally get it. But I heard them bringing that up before this year's, and the team, he's still a member of our team. The people understand that. But Sergachev would look damn good in the uniform right now. It would be kind of nice to have him there. And I think that the Canadians have done this with 4 defensemen, really hard-playing defensemen. And again, people looked at those moves when they got Sherratt last year. People, he's not going to make that big a difference. Or Edmondson, which has been ridiculous, the amount of time he's logged. So the team was the little engine that could. And now, in this province, I tell you that the most religion I have is the Montreal Canadiens. It begins and ends there. And I can't see it any more woven into the fabric of who we are here. It's the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, if you play for the Montreal Alouettes, and Verno's a great dude, and he'll tell you too, but it's a hockey town. And it's been bleak, If you look, there's 24 Stanley Cup banners. There hasn't been much to cheer about in 24 years, or 28 years.
It's been a while. Are you getting warmed up now, Bob?
I'm warmed
up.
I'm feeling comfortable now.
Good.
By the way, guys, so this view of Montreal, if you're going to come to Montreal, I've been here my whole life. I've been in this building before. This view is spectacular. This is ridiculous.
Isn't it something?
Yeah. You couldn't get for better. The sunsets are nice up here. I'm going to come down here later. We'll hold hands and watch the sunset.
I would hope so.
It's going to be
Promise?
Promise? We're having a nice night.
DuPont's out.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted to write down the crew that we got here. Transmission and Break Glass Productions, James, Ian, Austin, and Xander. Great job, guys. Give yourselves a hand over there because we're going great on Game Plus. The views are amazing. We're in this beautiful conference room, I guess you would say, at the Chateau Champlain. If we've impressed Bob, we've done a great job. So we're going to talk more about the Stanley Cup Final, of course, Game 3 tomorrow night, trying to get into that barn. Some CFL COVID controls, Florida if you're down, whatever.
Yeah.
whatever
anything.
comes up.
I can
okay?
talk about anything.
I know you can.
I'm
So-
on a wide variety of stuff.
We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus, the television network across all 10 provinces in 31 states. And I'll say it again, across Quebec, carried on cable networks Videotron, Rogers, and Eastlink. We'll be back with a sports update, viewer takeover, because we'd like to have some interaction with you. That's what we do here. You're watching The Rod Pedersen Show, also YouTube and Facebook Live and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Should play now.
Welcome back. It's the RP Show, Canada Day, or as I've just learned here in Quebec, Moving Day, which my good friend Coach Merrier is going to explain to all of us and our viewers outside of this province that are watching on Game Plus TV. But thanks for joining us. Troy Colmer's watching in Toronto, and he writes in from his account Sober Athletic, where he says, nice studio today, Rod. Must be nice to do the show in La Belle Province. Montreal is a world-class city, and the people are always hospitable. Go Tampa. He's a Leafs fan, Bob.
He's dead to me.
Right. Sports update, as we've been talking about, Andrei Vasilevsky turned away 42 shots as the Tampa Bay Lightning eked out a 3-1 win over the rejuvenated Montreal Canadiens in a thrilling Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Blake Coleman dove to score the winner at the buzzer at the end of the second period. The Bolts now take a 2-0 lead here into Montreal for Game 3. By the way, guy writing me from Texas today, Tanner Wilson, one of our viewers, about Blake Coleman, pointing out that he is from Frisco/Plano, Texas area. He goes, Texas hockey players getting it done. Meanwhile, the Arizona Coyotes are hiring junior coach Andre Tourigny as head coach. He replaces Rick Tocchet, who parted with the club in May after the Coyotes failed to reach the playoffs. The 47-year-old Tourigny has spent the past 4 years as coach and vice president of hockey for the Ottawa 67s. Montreal Alouettes long snapper Martin Bedard announced his retirement from professional football this morning following a glorious 11-season career in the CFL, all with his childhood team. He arrived in Montreal in 2009 after being selected in the second round of the CFL draft, then helped the team win back-to-back Grey Cups in 2009 and 2010. The 37-year-old Quebec City product played 179 games in 11 seasons with Montreal. The Phoenix Suns are headed to the NBA Finals for the first time in 28 years, defeating the LA Clippers 130-103 to close out the Western Conference Finals in 6. In the East, it's Atlanta and Milwaukee tonight. That series is tied 2-2. And Dylan Moore hit a 3-run homer in the 10th inning, and the Seattle Mariners held on after blowing 2 earlier leads to beat the Toronto Blue Jays 9-7 in Buffalo, New York. They'll do it again tonight. And former Blue Jay Joe Panik made an instant impression in his first game in Miami's lineup, homering in his first at-bat and adding a go-ahead RBI single during a 6-run sixth as the Marlins rallied for an 11-6 win over the Phillies. This sports update for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store, and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. We are on the top floor of the Chateau Champlain, a block from the Bell Center. Coach Bob Merrier is with me. Close friend talking about the Stanley Cup Final. He'll be with us for a few more segments. If you've got questions or comments about this series, we're taking them all show, and we'll be here live tomorrow as well. I just want to say this, Bob, before we get your analysis of this series and what's going to happen. Are those Louis Vuitton shoes, by the way?
They are.
Where does the guy get a pair of shoes like that?
This shoe company is from British Columbia. They're called Drip Social Drip. Oh God,
Drip.
Drip Side.
Look at
Drip
Louis
Side,
Vuitton. Turn sideways,
Custom.
Bob. They got
my
the
God.
camera on them.
Drip Side Custom.
Come on, look at this guy.
They're Vans. Drip Side Custom. All right, and you look that up, and this guy Connor makes these really cool shoes. They're really artisanal, and they use old bags and put them together on these shoes.
How about that? Now, I got distracted by your Louis Vuitton shoes. Let's talk about the on a watch too, of course. Let's talk about the tickets, okay, for Friday night in Game 3. The prices are dropping. I don't understand.
Well, again, I don't know what Moose knows, but apparently they're dropping. I was looking yesterday, $9,000 for decent seats in the Reds.
One ticket.
One ticket. So people are getting, and I guess I would, hey, let's go spend our summer in Europe and sell our 2 tickets. Why not?
I guess.
But and some people would pay anything. They'll give their front teeth to be sitting in that building. And I think the Canadians, they build off that crowd. The 3,500 has sounded, the players are super polite. They say it sounds fantastic. Obviously, anything's better than playing with no one in the crowd. It was surreal. And, we had that pumped-in noise. It never felt right. I think it would have been better just to let it would have been R-rated television to let the mics on, mic up all the players and just let's run it like that. It would have been some good entertainment, but I don't think Gary Bettman was ready to let that happen.
There were a few F-bombs that made it to TV anyways. But
many would.
Yeah, but they already have in some cases. But please tell me, Bob, because you live in South Beach and Montreal, you're the perfect split of this series.
Right.
They're full in Tampa. And every other stadium down there.
They're filled everywhere.
Right, and we're at 3,500 for the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup Final. Can you please explain to me the difference? Because you understand people are going, why them and not us?
It's kind of strange. My family thinks that I've become super right-wing, that I live in America. I'm a snowbird. I guess that would be the best way to say it. And my businesses operate there. I have been fully vaccinated for 4 months. And when you are I left Florida 10 days ago to come here, and it was... there's like a culture shock. I come back in, I'm an essential worker, so I get the free pass, and I just have to go take a PCR test. I've had 120 of them. But now here, I think tomorrow there will be backlash. People are mad today. When they announced that last night, at around 9 o'clock or 8:30, they announced they will not allow more than 3,500 people. How is that possible when they're going to have 100,000 people on the street tomorrow?
That's my question.
And they think it's okay. I was talking to Knuckles the other night when they were in the clincher, and I said, only in Montreal would they break in. He said, oh, baby, that would be great.
And fill the place.
How would they stop? How would they stop them from entering? They're not going to stop the game.
You don't think they would?
I don't know. I'm not telling people to do that, but it would be kind of only in Montreal. Montreal is the smoking section of Canada. Montreal makes the rest of Canada not vanilla. And
I was
people get mad
telling
at me.
Moose this last night. We're walking around, and I'm like, what do you notice, Darren? And he says, I noticed they don't sell bras here. He said, a lot of people smoke. He's been here before, so it's not like it's all new to him. But I said, you go outside in between periods of a Habs game, it's like it's a forest fire around the stadium.
Right. As people like to smoke. It's like Europe. And again, I don't smoke. It's not necessarily a thing for me.
Yeah.
We were talking about moving day.
Yeah, what is moving
July
day?
1st, all of the leases in Quebec are, again, I'll use that word, are articulated from July 1st to July 1st. So if you get into a lease, you're getting into it now. So you can't rent a car or a truck 3 days before and then 3 days afterwards because people are moving. The day to vacate your lease or your apartment is July 1st. And people are coming and going on the same day. So they're leaving one place and going into another. And it's a complete, that's the right word, a schlemazel. It's
Gong show?
Mess, yeah. And you're watching like people driving down the street and there's like mattresses on their truck and cars and people are... No, not even close.
Not as many trucks in Saskatchewan, Austin.
You know what? My brother moved yesterday, and I said, I'll give you money, but there's no way I'm coming to help you move. So I'm 56 years old. It's 200 degrees with the humidity. I'm not doing it. It's warm here as it is in Miami.
Yeah.
It really is. It's sticky out. Anyway, and so all that, it's just those weird quirks that make Quebec that. And I'm bringing you guys out for a good meal tomorrow night, and you will feel what Montreal's about, because you can't eat a bad meal here. Joe Beef. Why not?
Beef. Where is Joe Beef?
Down in my neighborhood in the Atwater Market area.
In the hood?
Not far from here.
Okay. Well, and by the way, the gentleman speaking on the other side of the camera is Austin. He's the Saskatoon guy who just pointed out that there's far less trucks in Quebec. I haven't seen one truck, actually, than Saskatchewan. Right? I haven't seen one with those brass nuts hanging from the bottom of the...
No, that's not going to happen here.
Yeah, it's just a contract.
It's just if you have a truck, it's a working truck.
Okay.
Nobody has it for not.
Let's open up the Prairie Mobile text line when we come back. We call it viewer takeover, Bob. You know, and by the way, this is how good a friend he is of mine. We had only been on the show, or on the air a couple of months, 2 years ago. And you wrote me, I don't know where you're watching from, I think by the pool at your place in South Beach. What do you call that place? The
Standard.
The Standard.
The Standard.
I can't remember.
Standard Spa.
And you're like, Rod, this is good. Well, we talk about things that no other shows talk about, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's more, I think, understanding a Canadian. I find sports television in America almost antiseptic the way they move it. And they really, they're driven by NFL. They're driven by, the NHL's a foregone conclusion. They sort of, whatever, the NHL.
Yeah.
And then in the hockey markets, and I'll tell you, Vegas, an unbelievable hockey market. I was amazed.
I know, who would believe it?
I was amazed
Who would
at how,
believe it?
because South Florida, they don't even, you think they are yelling at the game, get some and stuff like that. They're looking at NASCAR. The knowledge of the fans in Vegas was amazing. The hospitality of the fans in Vegas was shocking to me. I'm wearing Canadians paraphernalia. I get in and someone takes my hat. All right. But the guy comes back to me and he says, I'm just,
He gave it back to you.
He gave it back to me. He was like, I was just playing with you. I was like, it's totally okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
There was no animosity. I've been to Boston for a game before and you're taking your life in your hands. It's a completely
especially
different
as a Habs fan.
Yes, you would. I wouldn't even wear. God, I've got a red underwear on. That's the only thing I'm wearing. I'm not showing anything to anybody.
Again, just getting going with Coach Bob Merrier. When we come back, viewer takeover. As I said, you're watching on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. The patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept admission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
It's the Rod Pedersen Show. It is moving day in Quebec, Canada Day, as the rest of the country is celebrating, and we are live in the Chateau Champlain penthouse on, I guess, moving day of the Stanley Cup Final. Game 3 goes Friday night with the Tampa Bay Lightning leading the Montreal Canadiens 2-0. And Rod Pedersen here, as you know. Thanks for joining us on Game Plus TV, plus streaming. And Coach Bob Merrier, my dear and close friend from Montreal, joining us. So we got so many comments that have coming in. We're, like I said, I feel like we're somewhat camping here today. You know what I mean? Not in your regular environs, right? So I don't have, but Bob, tell them folks the messages you're getting right now. Who's watching?
John Derringer just said, hey, I follow Rod. I kind of know him, but it's kind of cool watching. So stuff like that.
Biggest
and of course,
DJ
Chris
in Canada.
Chris Nyland is on air, and I think he's got us on. He must be looking, what the hell is Merrier saying? I wonder what's going to happen.
That's Knuckles Nyland. He didn't get those knuckles for playing the piano.
No, he's one of the most intimidating human beings. You've met him in real life. It's frightening. He's a frightening guy. He's a sweetheart.
If you make him mad, yes.
Just the eye contact is like, okay, I'll do whatever you want. Here's my wallet. See you later. Don't hurt me.
But a teddy bear.
Yes.
Well, I was with Marty McSorley, and he was trash talking Knuckles Nyland. Let's put it this way, and Knuckles went nuts. He's probably watching. If Chris is watching, he would remember that. He wanted to fight him now.
He would, yeah. He would have no problems with that. He'd go with him right now.
So where's the comment here? I apologize. Jeremy from Game Plus is watching. He's in the control room. Jeremy Davis, where's the comment? Here it is. Great set dressing. Love to see the rocket statue. Have a classy Canada Day, guys.
Show us the rocket statue.
Okay, let's get the rocket statue. I got to thank the Chateau Champlain for that. This was in the lobby for years and years and years. I'm telling folks, Bob, that as you know, the Rough Riders stayed here I was coming here for 20 years staying in this hotel. And I would always take everybody to see this statue. And now with the renos, it was gone. So the staff dug this out of storage and gave it to us, I think, to take home, I think.
Yeah, for sure. They want you to have it.
I'm pretty sure.
No problem at all. They won't lose it at all.
And I can't even imagine what
You're
it's
not
worth.
coming back next year, but you can have the trophy.
Never you're allowed
and
back in here.
It's a national treasure in Quebec.
And what's also funny with Game Plus, look, the people of Quebec, I'm not going to say you people, but the people of Quebec that are watching, tell your friends. It's on Game Plus TV. It's in your sports bundle. It's a specialty channel. It's carried on the Videotron cable carrier, Rogers, and Eastlink, all through the Maritimes as well. So subscribe to Game Plus, and you'll get this show every single day. I'm pretty sure, Bob, nobody else is talking about the Stanley Cup Final on live Canadian television today but us.
Correct.
And closed captioner writing from Game Plus. They're all into it. Closed captioner writes, Liverpool, Joe Beef, but still top class, though. Love the Montreal talk. What's this Liverpool that people are referring
Liverpool
to?
House and Joe Beef and Vin Papillon are three restaurants that are in the hood where I live. Little Burgundy and St. Henry are right next to each other, and it's called the Atwater Market area. Yes, exactly.
Shout out St.
And
Henry.
they definitely, there's a famous picture of Trudeau and Obama eating at Liverpool House. They are 100 feet from each other. The menus are ostensibly the same. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And it's, again, it's a religious experience. Food here
Liverpool.
Food here is. I have one thing I'm going to say. My whole life, an all-dressed hot dog, there's no room for ketchup on a hot dog in Quebec. At the Bell Center
The
now.
best hot dogs in the world.
But there's a problem. I have a problem. I should send Jeff Molson a letter saying, what the hell are you doing putting ketchup on hot dogs? They used to shame you into that in this province. Ketchup on a hot dog, if you go to like Lafleur's, they still put it on over there. They will not put it on for you. The Bell Province will. But I have a problem with ketchup on hot dogs. Just letting you know.
I don't. But those are the best hot dogs in the world. Toasted buns.
Yes.
Bell Center, the best. Guys, we got a break, don't we? I believe we're at 12:56. Here's the hilarious thing. These guys, we never met these guys till today, Bob. They're all worried about the show. Now they're chiming in. They're part of the show. That's what we do here, right? So we're going to take a time out. Dupes, are we good with that? Sure. And we'll come back with the hour 2 second half kickoff for the four-season sports paddles. We'll talk more about the Stanley Cup Final. And as I said to Bob, we haven't even got into the Canadian Football League yet, and there's a ton of news this week, both with the Alouettes and the league and the government. So we'll be back after this break. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Are we?
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
It's the Rod Pedersen Show. We are a block from the Bell Center from the Chateau Champlain, and you see that Montreal Canadiens logo everywhere. And we are in between games 2 and 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Game 3 goes Friday night at the Bell Center, and we are live on Game Plus Television, as well as your favorite streaming streams. And I just want to mention before we get back into this with Coach Merrier, and we will talk some CFL here, but we're here for the Stanley Cup, which reminds me, on the Prairie Mobile text line at 306-840-8777. This is really turning into the national show that we'd hoped today. Kevin, the Ticats fan, writes us from the GTA. Happy Canada Day to you and the crew, Rod. I am so happy you guys are getting this opportunity to broadcast live from Montreal. You guys work so hard, do such an amazing job, and I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you and your crew. Signed, Ticat fan, Kevin. KSJ Sports. That's very nice of you to say, Kevin. Very classy of you to say. Deb in Toronto. Great show, guys. So cool to see you in Montreal. Makes you wonder what's next. Hey, by the way, support for the Rod Pedersen Show is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. That's right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code RP20 at manscaped.com. Recovery coach Bob Merrier is with us, lifelong Montrealer who spends half his years in Florida now, but he's here to give us the Montreal perspective, some Stanley Cup analysis. But I have to say this, Bob, you're a major CFL fan too. Yeah. Close friends with Alouettes quarterback Vernon Adams Jr. We got to talk about this for a second because yesterday the federal government announced they're going to lower the quarantine period from 14 days to 7 days for CFL players. That was just announced yesterday. Right? And then the CFLPA forwarded the list of COVID restrictions to the website 3downnation.com. So we all got to look at those. And it was, you can't leave your dwelling for the rest of the season. They're hoping that may change by Labor Day, right? Yeah. When you're on the road, you can't leave your hotel. No guests to the hotel. If you break any of this long list of restrictions, you'll have your contract terminated. Now, I feel this is a little strict, but I've never been big on rules. I don't really think you have either.
No. But I mean, I think we're all getting to a point where we're getting a little bit, we're looking down south and watching that nothing bad's happened since they did that. We were told, oh my God, when Texas in May said they were taking, what's going to happen in Texas is going to be an unmitigated, I was going to say shit show.
Catastrophe?
Catastrophe.
You're good.
I swore. But
we would expect nothing less, Robert.
Yeah, I'm really toning it down today. But in hindsight, now I came back to this, and it's a bit annoying. And I think that these players, the Montreal Canadiens radio host, their TSN here, they're in lockdown in Florida when they're there. You have to follow all the protocols when you arrive there.
Right, so it's no different.
No. So they're having to, the NHL's put those same type of placement. The players aren't allowed to congregate when they're not, it's the same setup. I don't know when it's going to be, when it's going to stop being this way. We were told we're the most vaccinated populace on Earth.
Wait a minute.
Canada.
Canada's
really? The most popular. We're at 70. I think we're over 72 or 73% of people have at least one shot in them. In the United States, I don't think they've got 40 with one shot in them. And they're still living. Yeah, I'm not making these numbers up. I read,
You're
I
a
read
smart
the newspaper.
guy.
Yeah.
I know, but I think why people are so upset, and that's why I was telling this crew here, because these guys didn't know us from Adam, and now they do. They're part of the crew here, our production crew. That what we talk about here isn't just sports. I said, Bob, you've been watching it a long time. It's the view for sports fans. So we're going to talk about issues. So I guess that don't necessarily pertain to sports. We were kind of led to believe that everything, feelings, whatever, we were led to believe that we would be back to normal by summertime. Correct. If we hit certain targets with vaccinations.
CFL is, it's precarious when you're a gate-driven league. It's extremely precarious. The owners it's not NHL hockey money here. And I've often looked at the CFL and been able to think to myself, and my friend, I won't only watch NFL. I can barely watch NFL football. I find it, here, let's do the play calling's pretty sedate, and in the CFL, there's always something happening.
You love the league.
Yeah, I do, and I've loved it my whole life. I played Canadian football, and I've often thought of it as being, there's more excitement. It's a quarterback-driven league. I'm not fooling myself at what's going on here. But the plays and the players, and these guys are playing for a song compared to what I don't think the equipment managers make this thing. So the love of the game. So I think it's really important that we preserve that. The talk of The Rock coming in and stuff like that, that sounds great in theory, but they would just brush us aside and steal the game and do whatever.
You're against it, huh?
Yeah. I don't think it would work. Maybe if they showed or presented a plan. To say it's going to work, it's great. The pie in the sky idea is fantastic. And The Rock's going to take, he's only the busiest man in Hollywood, but he's going to start running a league. It's a little nutty.
I know, but just back to the football for a second. Now, I guess Darren's going to debate this a little later with me because I think it's strict, he doesn't. Basically, what he's saying is the leagues and the teams are being forced to these restrictions, but nobody else is. It's like, if you want to play, this is what you have to do. So maybe we shouldn't expect them to loosen the restrictions.
I would wonder who is making these restrictions. It's being called, but some government guy that doesn't know what it's like to play in the sport. And part of that, if you're with a team, there's got to be camaraderie. You got to be able to hang out with your boys and do what you need to do. I think it's becoming, and how are you going to be able to mitigate how much exposure they have when the rest of the world will be loosening? We're going to go away from even last summer, it decreased quite a bit. We were running around a lot easier. Although when you went to restaurants, people were wearing shields and stuff. I think that with this vaccination, we're supposed to get there. It's an information cluster F-bomb.
Don't say that.
Yes, it's an information problem, and I don't think we know. There's no clear set lines, but it would suck for these players to have to come here and basically be, for lack of a better word, under house arrest.
You of all people could appreciate this, because I do, but I talked to a coach in Texas yesterday, or the day before, a football coach, regarding restrictions and what the players are going to have to do to play in the Canadian Football League, where it's not millions. He said, if you want something bad enough, you'll do it. And he meant, if you want to play football bad enough, you will comply with these
continue the dream, I think, is really would be better.
Say what?
Continue the dream.
That's what he's saying. So where are you with him saying? Because there's a lot of complaining.
He's right. I think there's going to be a lot of complaining. But is there going to be some guy that, I'm not saying it's wrong working for the government and doing this, but I'm saying maybe this person should have a better understanding of what it's really like to live that way. And, why don't the sooner we get back to normalcy, the sooner we're all going to be happy. We haven't talked about, a gate-driven league. We're going to lose this league if we don't, we make it impossible for people to come and see it. It's going to disappear. I don't think the government's going to bail them out.
No, because could you imagine? There's people mad enough at the quarantine period being lowered from 14 days to 7 for them. For being exempt.
A lot of it was optics. I could no longer come home after, once they started the new rules, I was coming back. I was following my protocol. I was doing a PCR test when I arrived, before I left, all of the above. And then we're going to stay at the hotel. We're 60 miles from an airport in Plattsburgh, New York. I came in through Plattsburgh the other night. I landed in Plattsburgh, came in through the land border, gave them my credentials. I have credentials in my bag and said,
That's
here
how
we
you're
go.
doing it. I wondered.
Yeah, I can do that. But if I fly in, I'd be roped off, brought to an airport hotel, charged for 3 nights, even though I can get the test results back in 16 hours or 12 hours, and then doing that. And again, like, I'm trying to stay on topic, but I'm like, this COVID
You're
thing
fine.
is putting a damper on it. Like, that's the right word for this. It's a precarious situation in the CFL. It is really scary, and we're not talking about how, like, we're walking the line here. I mean, football is life in Saskatchewan, but here in Toronto, where the 2 biggest cities have really serious issues going on with how we're going to draw people if it's this complicated to go. I think that it's got to be addressed, and even BC, and like it's not going to change overnight, but it should be. Like, I keep on waking up. When's this dream going to wake over? And it's all over now. And I said, if you look down to the south, it's over. It's over.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, I mean, in your day-to-day life down there, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, if I want to go to Whole Foods or want to go, they make you wear a mask. Most of the private establishments have put the onus on the person. Our staff will be wearing masks, but you don't have to. It's your decision. That's in Florida, and in some places in Florida, depending on where you are, like the more north you are in Florida and Tampa, there's no mask restriction. You don't have to wear anything. It's up to you.
So, text has come in from the 514. You know where that
That would be us.
Okay, from Quebec. I agree with Vernon Adams. CFL needs to use a hybrid of NFL COVID protocols. If fully vaxxed, more freedom. And that's from Tim Capper. He is one part of the Alouettes Flight Deck podcast here in Montreal. I'm not as averse with the NFL protocols. I'm not. I mean, they've been published. I just haven't had the interest to go and read them all. But your boy VA, and he takes you to games, right? I've seen your photos.
He scored a touchdown and he threw a ball at me. Thank God I didn't drop it. I mean, that was 2 years ago when we had that magical run when he really turned the corner and became somebody. He arrived in the CFL that season.
And then this.
Yeah, and then just he's gaining momentum and then stop. It's not.
So is he struggling now?
No, he's back. I think he's back in Montreal, and he's doing that. I've only found out he was back in the last few days, but he's definitely has to follow, and he's been vocal. Like, how am I being punished right now? And there are some people, I don't know. Yeah, why am I being punished? And I said it started at Christmas time when some Ontario minister went away, and they said the optics. He was in St. Bart's. And they wanted his head on a pike because we were making people come home. If they were following all the so-called protocols the CDC had brought in, why did it become a political thing? And that's what they did. They made it a thing. The optics look bad, so we got to fix it. Yeah. I don't think there's any stopping that on July 21st, the borders are going to be wide open. They got to stop. I think the American pressure is going to be like, you got to open them.
You think so, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, on that topic, you mentioned the Alouettes coming back rocking, which they did under Kahari Jones. I thought he should have had more consideration for Coach of the Year. And talk about the love for the Alouettes in this province or this city, because you said that it is a hockey town, and it is, but they love the Owls, Bob.
Now, give Larry Smith credit. When this came back in '96, they built. You look at the French football programs here.
Amazing.
Go to small towns. They've got field turf fields, and those products like all of the French universities, University of Montreal. Sherbrooke, and of course Laval. I think Laval could play in the CFL. They're a pretty good team, and they have driven this in. They went into all these French schools when all the English schools were getting rid of it for budget cuts. I played football here when I was a kid. Every high school had a football team. I had a senior and junior team. No one does now. The private schools do.
It's gone the other way?
It's gone the other way on the island, and on the English schools on the French side, everyone's got a program. And the CEGEP level, which is, only in Quebec, you only go to grade 11, and then you go to CEGEP, which is kind of like what makes Quebec the smoking section of Canada. I speak from my own experience. Nobody was checking IDs in Quebec. You go into a bar when you're 15 years old. You know what it led to? I believe less binge drinking, because the doorman would come up to you. The doorman would come up to you, and the doorman would say, "Don't act out of turn. you'll be fine. And by just saying no, we created this, let's go. If you go to Europe, kids are drinking liquor.
You're saying personal responsibility.
Yeah, and that worked here. It really did. I mean, I think if he's a sober coach and he's advocating for young people drinking, or I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a different mindset in Quebec. Very different. It's acceptable.
I want to check the poll question, and then we're going to have to break. I don't want to break, but the poll results here today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center are these. And the question is, can the Canadians come back to win the Stanley Cup? 61% of you saying no, they cannot on Twitter. We'll talk more with Bob about Game 3 and will the series change on Friday night, how difficult it is to get into the Bell Centre, which is only a block away. As you can see, we are broadcasting from downtown Montreal. I think if you look real close, you might be able to see Percival Molson Stadium. It's right in there, isn't it, Bob? Yeah. Right over our shoulder here somewhere.
Yeah, it's a kind of, I'll point it out
that is
in front of my mic.
Mount Royal over our shoulder here, the namesake of this beautiful city. And I also want to talk about that Vegas series. I'm not done with it. We almost came to blows.
It wasn't blows. It was just, you said the best team will win quietly.
Well, apparently they did.
You have to swallow that. You have to.
I owe you lunch,
actually.
I never thought I'd see you this fast.
Exactly.
I owe you a Joe Beef. Okay, we'll be right back. You're watching the Rod Pedersen Show across Canada on Game Plus TV network in 31 states. As well, carried in Quebec on Eastlink, Videotron, and Rogers Cable. Also live on YouTube and Facebook daily and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed. Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
It's the Rod Pedersen Show. It is Canada Day. Happy Canada Day to our viewers, and also Happy Moving Day, which I just learned about here in Quebec. I was today years old when I learned about Moving Day, where we're doing the show live on the top floor of the Chateau Champlain penthouse on Game Plus Television, and we appreciate them with having the idea to send us to Montreal for the Stanley Cup Final, and here we are. How about that? And we'll be on the air tomorrow at noon Eastern as well. Just before more with Coach Bob Merrier, the Montreal Canadiens were better last night, but still not good enough to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. Carey Price allowed a pair of second-period goals in the 3-1 loss that dropped Montreal into an 0-2 hole in the best-of-7 Stanley Cup Final. Game 3 goes Friday. We haven't totally analyzed the game yet, Bob, you and I, so we'll get to that. Hold your thoughts. The Blue Jays play the rubber match of a 3-game series with the Seattle Mariners today in Buffalo. The Mariners evened the series with a 9-7 win last night thanks to a 3-run homer from Dylan Moore in the 10th inning. NBA, both teams could be missing key players when the Bucks and Hawks meet for Game 5 of the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals in Milwaukee tonight. The Greek Freak is listed as doubtful after undergoing an MRI on his injured left knee. And Atlanta's Trae Young is uncertain after sitting out Game 4 with a bone bruise in his foot. And have you seen this? Tour de France organizers have withdrawn their lawsuit against a fan who caused a massive crash on the first stage. Organizers made the decision in a bid to defuse the situation after the careless spectator was placed in custody. Race spokesperson Fabrice Tiano said gendarmes in Brittany arrested her yesterday, 4 days after the accident brought down dozens of riders and forced one of them to abandon the race. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League news and analysis. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, now with 8 amazing flavors, including the new almond mocha, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. And just before the hockey talk, Ben Cahoon, still, he wouldn't have to buy a lunch in this town, would he?
No, it depends where you're at. But no, Ben Cahoon
Ben
was
Cahoon?
in the West Island.
He's
He was
a big
very
deal.
very respected player. Same with Anthony Cavill.
Yeah, AC.
AC had made his home here. I mean, he lives here.
Classy
That's where
guy,
he's at.
isn't he?
Yeah, quiet, unassuming, humble, you know. And you think of, like, if you had taken away the years where he got the tar beat out of him, and when he first came into and including, you know, even in Hamilton, it wasn't fun. It was terrible. In Las Vegas is where he started. He took a beating there. The same type of beating that the Knights took from the Canadians.
Oh, stop it.
Exactly. So talking
Are
about
we doing
today's
this?
game,
I
yeah,
wanted to
we can talk about it. But I'm this type of fan that I have not stopped supporting my team, but when they lose, it's like a mourning period. I don't watch any of the sports shows. I just go dark. I pretend something. Okay, what's on Netflix?
And when you win, you rub it in.
When I extrapolate information from NBC Sports, the NHL Network, Sportsnet, TSN, RDS. I watch everything. I'll be up for after a game. There's a 3-hour window where I have to digest everything. And then, like last night, TV went off. That's it. I got to see Rod tomorrow morning.
I'm not trying to rub it in.
Oh, you can talk about it. I can tell.
Do you think the second goal in the last minute of the second period was just crushed them?
No. I think they continued to play well.
Just last night it had crushed them. Like they didn't have a chance to come back after that.
I mean, you're going to obviously have to get guys in Vasilevsky's face. It's the same rule book as they have for Carey Price. They're just getting better at it.
Right.
They got some breaks. We'll get some breaks. What they call puck luck, they're going to have some of that. I mean, in Montreal, I don't think the players came back saying, oh, this is over. Knuckles talked about in 86 being down 0-2 to the Quebec Nordiques, and then they strung them off. They just went, it was a 7-game series. And it's right. It could happen to them.
Luke Richardson, the interim coach, said after
interim.
Yeah, said last night after the game that it was bad puck management on, which was the goal that they banked in off Price. That was a third goal.
That was a third goal.
That was
the one. That was the one that hurt.
Bad, all these hockey terms, Bob, puck management, low event games. I'm still trying to learn what the hell they mean. I've been in the game my whole life. So we'll see what happens. But Dominic Ducharme, them missing him, how much of a factor do you think that was?
I think because of technology, he was in every dressing room after their
Virtually.
Virtually, which is a little different. Again, if you want to see the arc of this man's career, and he came in under the gun, they fire Julien. He's got 2 years left on his contract. Doesn't matter. They fire him. They bring in Ducharme, and Ducharme gets hit with COVID. He can never really practice with his team. The 1 week off they had before the season started, that's when he was actually able to implement his style of play, which obviously works.
Yeah.
And again, understanding Montreal is understanding the Leafs win could have been considered their Stanley Cup, not to the players, but to Montreal fans, absolutely. Because we look at the TSN network is a Toronto sports network, and Sportsnet, right. They were befuddled. When the Canadiens eliminated the Leafs, Cassie Campbell had a 1,000-mile stare on her face. She didn't know what to say, obviously. I haven't done my homework for this. And they didn't. I mean, Craig Button wore it well.
Oh, yeah.
He took it
well.
He took it absolutely. Like a good Montrealer, he took it. I'm going to wear, if there's music to be faced, I will be facing it. Great. But that being said, the Canadiens fans are always feeling a little, especially with this team, they're scrappy. No one, they're too old, they're too this. When the people, Marc Bergevin used the word reset, people were like, he was getting panned here. Half the people on radio stations wanted his head on a pike. Let's get him out of here. It's always someone's fault. This is a city of 3 million GMs. They're all ready for the job. They're just waiting for the call-up. And the reality is he did a really good, tell me he doesn't look smart for the moves he's made.
I said with a month ago in the regular season, this guy's GM of the year. Regular season.
Right.
Josh Anderson, Corey Perry, you name it. All those little add-ins, plus firing Claude Julien.
Yeah, which was obviously timed, obviously well-timed, but the Canadiens, 26 games in 48 days. Show me an NHL schedule like that. And I love the comments from Leafs fans. Oh, it's a disgrace that they're in there. They only had one more win than the Ottawa Senators. They were playing within the same rule book as everyone else. And it's unfortunate. They knew that they couldn't be taken over by Calgary and there was still a few games left in the season. It got a little dicey. But they did do that, and then once they knew they were in,
I think they beat the Flames 4 out of 5 games or whatever, right? To really cement it.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this, because we're going to go to Vegas for a talk here in a moment.
Yeah.
But there's no way that Dominic Ducharme's not coaching this team coming back next year. I was hoping that it would be Patrick Roy, and I still think he will be great wherever he goes, but it won't be here, right? But not now.
Like I said, I don't know if it would have been him. Maybe I can't speak.
You think
to
they
that.
might not even have hired him at period ever?
I don't think there's a lot of energy there, and he left.
Scorched
he
the earth.
Definitely left. He left Colorado under a. He's been lifelong friends with Joe Sakic. I'm pretty sure they're not talking to each other anymore, and. Again, in Quebec, he's an icon. There's no doubt about it. But, I mean, they had an icon in Carbonneau who didn't do a bad job. He was fired after a win. He did a really good job. And I don't know if he doesn't deserve to coach again, because I think he does. But he's just working as an analyst. And could he do something more with his life? I'm sure he could. But will he get the call? Because this market, and most Montrealers would tell you the language thing is made up by the media. They want a general manager that has to speak French. They say that has to happen. It has to be the criterion for a job. People just want a winner.
They don't
think
care.
They would care. They don't.
But has there ever been
Well, back in the day, Irving Grundman, Pollock, these were guys that didn't speak French.
I'm talking color TV era, Bob.
Okay. Well,
it's
Irving
been
Grundman
a while.
Color, Irving Grundman, and again, we've had some steadiness. There's always been a certain steadiness. No one does pre-game ceremonies like Montreal.
Oh no.
No one does pomp and ceremony like Montreal. Nobody. And I'm sorry, you try and go. I went to Roberto Luongo was getting his sweater retired. I felt bad for him. It was so poorly done, and they wheeled out all this stuff, and his microphone didn't work. He could barely hear what he was saying, and the stadium was full of people. They obviously love Bobby Lou. He's a popular player. But I felt bad for him. I said that would never happen in Montreal.
Would never happen in Montreal. Well, and by the way, for those that just tuned in, and this is our final segment with Bob, and I got to get to this Vegas thing here, but the Chateau Champlain brought this, statue.
Right. You just heard Carey Price.
Yeah, Carey. We got to Carey. Hey, there's the intern Xander. Put that up there. Thank you, buddy. This is the intern Xander, by the way. Thank you, Xander. This came from the souvenir store downstairs, which I understand ours to keep, right, Moose?
Oh, yeah.
And the Chateau Champlain dug this Maurice Richard trophy out of storage for us to put on the desk because they had it for decades in the lobby and they've run out and put it away. And these seats, which you'll see in a moment. Actually, you can just swing over here, Austin. There you go. These seats, Bobby's got his hand on. Wouldn't even put his water on it.
No.
From the Montreal Forum, these were the Chateau Champlain season tickets. So here's the thing. Montreal's not my team, but I respect the hell out of them, Bob. And it's very evident, very evident. And that's why I respect Patrick Waugh. But Vegas is my team, Canada's team. And in our ratings, Bob.
Canada's team.
That's right. That's what everybody. Look at all these guys. Yes, Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. It was going that way. Of our top 10 cities for viewership, Vegas is number 7. Don't ask me why. But when I went to those Golden Knights games for the first time, I'm with you. There's so much going on. For the people that missed it earlier, what did you say? You thought somebody was going to pop out of center ice?
I thought that, like, here come the monkeys from the Wizard of Oz. They're going to pop them out from center ice. Like, everything was going on. The lasers are going in your eyes. They have 3 layers of cheerleading and a majorette band and a drum line. It's crazy. They don't necessarily need that here. We have an organ, and they have all the rinks have music that's so loud it affects your gene pool. You know, it's just being driven into you. And I think that it was a lovely show. The Canadians lost that first night 4-1. It didn't deter them, and then they again got some luck. Like at Game 3, that was when Marc-Andre decided to Marc-Andre, the Vezina winner,
right over here, a block away. A block away that happened.
And Joss Anderson. He was the recipient. But again, I'm going to say this. The Canadians have not been given a fair shake media-wise. Everyone says, oh, they're just... What they did to the Jets was fantastic.
Schooled them.
They did. And everyone's going to say, keep your head up.
Wayne, hang on. Are you done?
Yeah.
Wayne in Victoria. Hi, Rod. I'm definitely a fan of Bob. He speaks the truth about the rules of the COVID restrictions and rules. I would vote for Bob as the rock star of the week if I could. Yeah. We do a rock star of the day, Bob, as you know. You've won it. I should have brought you your T-shirt or hat, whatever. Well, you came in here wearing a hat. But just on Vegas being a hockey town, follow his Instagram, by the way. He's got 500,000 followers. It's Sober Coach. Pretty simple. So I'm watching your story in Vegas, and you're like, I knew you'd be adorned in Montreal gear, head to toe. And what'd you say? I've never felt so alone in my life.
Yeah.
What was that?
But I sat there. I was like, I've never been this alone. You know, I'm a pork chop in a synagogue. I'm very out there. But as I sat down, there was a gentleman from New York behind me and fully Carey priced out. And then 2 rows in front of me, there was like 4 French guys and a baby. And they worked for Cirque du Soleil. They were francophones from Montreal, and they were at it. And we had a good night.
You guys all got together?
Yeah, we were talking, but the fans are really nice. There was no animosity. The guy next to me was a sweetheart. Like, they represented really well. So if you want to go to Vegas and hang out and go watch a game there, I would say absolutely go do it. That atmosphere was crazy. It was really good.
And by the way, it's not... People think they just snapped their fingers and made Vegas a hockey town. They didn't know what hockey was until the Knights showed up. And even after they showed up, it took a while for people to understand what was going on. Mm-hmm. And look at Arizona that have been there since 1996, and they're still not a hockey town.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's poorly managed. I mean, the situation in Vegas has been, Vegas is the production value of going to a game there is like going to a show. It would be no different than a Cirque du Soleil. There's so much going on. It's you're trying to do a visual audit of everything going on. You can't take it all in at once.
Well, watch your feet. I'm going to drop some names here. But after my first game, Kelly McCrimmon, the general manager of the Golden Knights, texted me and said, what did you think? And I said, I didn't know where to look, Kelly. I said, come Saturday, the next game, I'll kind of know what's coming, right? So I'll know where to look. Because I think they do the most, you went to more than one game, didn't you?
Yeah.
So once you went back the next night, you were you knew what to expect, correct?
Yeah,
or
but
no?
they still changed the show up. They had different stuff going on. The weird thing was there's like this slip and fall lawyer that comes on at the end, and that cheapened the experience. I said, who's this clown? You know, and he's like, he's screaming into the mic. And then I see pictures of him on the Vegas Strip, and he's a slip and fall lawyer. I said, what the hell is he doing? That would never happen here. That wouldn't even allow it. They wouldn't even have it in Canada. They would not have that anywhere in Canada. No. The slip and fall lawyer is not getting a piece of the NHL action.
Before you adjourn, Bob, what's going to happen here in the next 36 hours ahead of Game 3?
Tomorrow?
Vibe,
the Montreal fans will start to build and congregate right in front of here on Avenue des Canadiens, and that crowd, you will be able to sit up here and see them. They'll be everywhere. I don't care rain or shine, they will be out there en masse. And it will build to the crescendo will be the game. And I mean, let's face it, game 3, you got to win. There's no way this is over if they don't win it. And I think that they will bring their best foot forward. They did last night. They did not get on the plane going, wow, we played with them last night. We definitely were in that game. If you don't think it was, and some people, they're going to be the stronger team. I would defy you to tell me any other team would be doing any better. Did New York play that much better? New York brought it to 7 games. Montreal's got to do that to be able to say.
Well, we could sit and talk about this forever. Vegas finished ahead of Tampa, but they were in a different division. Maybe they had easier opponents than the Lightning, right? You know what I mean? Like, who is the better team?
The Lightning in Florida is now that'll be like Montreal, Quebec. Because Montreal, Quebec was the most hated series. I remember being like, you could fight over that. You could see a player. You don't get that. And in Montreal, I'll be frank with you, I hate on Ottawa more than I hate on the Leafs. Really? Ottawa really bothers me, absolutely. The town that fun forgot, Ottawa. Hi, people in Ottawa. Say hi to them.
Ottawa, hello, Ottawa. Hey, but I kind of felt like you were making excuses with this 26 games in 48 days. Like, do you think they're coming back, or do you not think they're coming back? I think
they're coming back, but what I'm saying to that is there's a lot of talk on the interweb that says, the Canadians have no business being there. I'm sorry, they've won 3 series to get here. They shouldn't have been in the playoffs is the argument. But the NHL, the way that it unfolded, 26 games in 48 nights is insane. It's nuts. No team could ever put up with that. So of course they had a bad record. They struggled through that. They could never find, you're tired. Players don't get tired. That schedule will make anyone tired. So that's it. I'm not saying that that's the excuse, but I'm tired of hearing people say they had no business being in this thing. They do, and they've won 4 series to prove it.
It's going to be fun. Well, that's the end of our time here, but we'll get to spend the weekend with you, Bob, and I owe you a meal on the game. So
okay,
or the series.
Thank you for having me. I'll come back tomorrow in something less dressed up, and
Oh, you got an open invite, absolutely.
Okay. And I'll bring you for somewhere for dinner tonight.
Can't wait. Okay. Moose DuPont joins us on set next. It is a live, on-location edition of the Rod Pedersen Show here from Montreal on the Stanley Cup Final, top floor of the Chateau Champlain. And you're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. The patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept admission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-In Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
There it is, the Centre Bell, home of the Montreal Canadiens, the site of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final Friday night. This today is a day in between games, moving day, if you will. It's officially moving day in Quebec City, as I've learned, but the Habs came home after the game last night. They actually just wrapped up, from what I understand, their Zoom calls with the media here this afternoon, getting ready for Game 3. Darren Moose Dupont joins us back on set at the Chateau Champlain. We are live on Game Plus television here from the Stanley Cup, and Darren, I'll be giving you plaudits. I might even buy you supper tonight, my friend. Yes, for this. Are you happy with how everything's gone here?
I'm over the moon. It's great. I mean, this is fun. And this is what we wanted to do, right? We wanted to be where the events are, right? We wanted to be in the heart of the action and do what we do every day, which is have coffee and hang out and talk about the games. And these off days, when you have a day off, and especially tomorrow too, which will be game day, people want to talk about the games, right? That's what they do in the days off while the teams are traveling. So,
we covered a lot with Coach Merrier.
Big time.
Whom you just met. What do you think of this guy?
I know, he's pretty special. It's funny, the thing that stuck with me, what did he say about Canadian fans?
You're either biting your ass or kissing your ass.
Yeah, so that's pretty funny. And the other thing is he comes in here and he looks at the big picture window and he's like, I've lived in Montreal
my entire
whole life and I've never seen this view. He's never seen it. Mount Royal in the background. We got the cathedral down there. The Bell Center's right outside. If you're following our social channels, like, it is outstanding. We're in a great spot. We went for a walk down to Old Montreal, which is kind of my favorite area. This morning was all about getting this set up and getting the guys in here. So tomorrow, we won't be here till, probably 11:50 because we'll be out at the coffee shops and all their favorite spots in the morning.
Who knows?
Which I'm excited for, but no, it's been great.
Well, I'm still trying to figure this out. I mean, you've been to Montreal a few times. You said you've come for
This
tennis.
is 3, yeah.
And I've been coming here for 20 years for Rough Rider games. But like I said, the Canadiens, here's the story, and I've said it on the air, but for the benefit of our new viewers, not that anybody would care, but I grew up wanting to cheer for Montreal, but my dad wouldn't let me. Western Canadian guy. So I had to switch to the Oilers. But why wouldn't I? Because they were on television every Saturday night, and they were winning. He cheers for the Leafs because they were on every Saturday night, but they were losing. I still haven't figured out that Leaf love for you. But this, like being here, these are the seats from the Forum, the season seats of the Chateau Champlain. We got the Rocket Richard Trophy. Like, you step off the plane in this town, and you're soaking in Canada.
Oh, yeah. Guys, remember that one I wanted? The shot of the names? Yeah. Can you find that?
Didn't you?
So it was one of ours. You know when we showed that? Yeah. When we shot, so that this shot from outside that we have outside. Look at this.
Yeah, we aired it once.
You might not see it from your seat in our program monitor, but our viewers will. As we zoom in on the right side, I made sure to make sure we got a couple of key names here. On the second column in, I believe from the right, you'll be able to find Brent Sopel's name. And a column over, Chris Nyland's on there. Can you find Knuckles Nyland's on the left? And there was Brent Sopel on the right. So
that's everybody that's played for the Canadians?
Everybody that's played is all there. We've gone. I went for the little walk, and we'll have more shots tomorrow, too, of all the cool history.
Well, it's just amazing what Bob said. You wouldn't see an injury lawyer sponsoring the Montreal Canadiens, right? Or what? Like, it's just, it's unbelievable. And then last night we're walking around, and I was wondering why at 8 did just everything stop? Wasn't a car on the road, hardly any people on the road, and I'm like, oh yeah, the Canadians are playing.
Yeah.
So it's very similar where we come from, the rectangle, and it's not like we're halfway around the world here, but in a way it feels like it when the Rough Riders play. Right?
You could, launch a bazooka down Main Street and you're not going to hit anybody because everybody's watching the game.
The game, yeah.
Right. And that was cool. And, you look through all the windows, they all got TVs on, they're all on the sports networks, they're ready to go with the game. This is hours before. The security outside the cage.
Sports cage.
Right?
Cajou Sport.
The Cajou Sport. Like, they're ready hours before. And we can't even get in to have a bite to eat 3 hours before the game. We want to be in and out in 45 minutes. Like, no. If you don't have a reservation, it's game day, right?
Just to get serious for a second, I'm just going to load this up for our viewers. The next segment is Overtime, and it's our final segment where we do viewer takeover. And we don't have Facebook comments, as you know, or I would have been reading them throughout the day. So you're going to have to text us 306-840-8777 on the Prairie Mobile text line. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Any questions or comments the rest of the way, let's open them up now. But you wanted to debate the COVID protocols. And this, I don't take back what I said, that I think that these restrictions are far too strict for the Canadian Football League. Again, you don't want to take it from me because everybody hates what I say. Take it from Bob. They're going to kill the CFL. They're going to kill the CFL. And to me, it's ridiculous overkill. But now we get to Montreal, and we're talking to all the NHL guys. It reminds me of the Heritage Classic when we did our show, and the NHL just, come on in, guys. What do you need? This is the way the NHL is. And now they're like, oh, we got to do this too. The thing is, there's no coverage of it. And for a reason, nobody knows that they're going through all this incredibly strict COVID protocols. And the National Hockey League, it seems like it's just hit the media now that the CFL's dealing with it. It's really no different than the NHL.
Right. It is no different. And do I think that the players quarantining for 2 weeks and not being able to go out, I think that is a little excessive. But,
don't back down now.
But they've moved it to 7 days. I think that's appropriate. I think, when I look at 22,000 sitting outside the Bell Center and I look at the players not being able to go grocery shopping without a mask on, well, there's a difference, right? Now, I don't want to seem insensitive here, but I might.
I'm offended.
Okay? I might, because if Austin's down outside the Bell Center now, we can find somebody else to take his job. Probably, right? Easily. You're not going to find another Vernon Adams Jr. on the street, okay? You're not going to find another Brendan Gallagher. So do I want you in front of 20,000 people? No, because I can't find another you. There's more value to me, your ability to be replaced. And not that I'm just discarding the regular person, but as a business owner,
now
when
they're
you're dealing
offended
with millions of dollars, right? And the insurance is up, for millions of dollars. Now Austin's one of the best cameramen in ever. So he's probably worth more. Think of the average cameraman. No one's going to believe that. Okay? Yeah, exactly.
And totally redeemed yourself.
But you know what I'm saying? It's about that, worst case scenario. That's why they put the president in the bomb bunker when there's any sort of a threat. They don't take any chances.
So you're saying not the rest of everybody else has to deal with it, but the athletes do.
But the athletes do. When you open up the stadiums and the athletes, you have to keep them separated, and you have to make sure that you take extra measures. That's why they're going to have measures for players long after there's no measures for you and I. It's a no big deal if I get COVID, okay? But it's a big deal if you get it. I'm putting myself in that. If I get it, no big deal, okay? I mean, if I get taken out, this show is going to be okay. If you get taken out, the show is done. So I need to protect you.
I think you're being far too humble, but
I'd miss you.
Thank you, Austin.
Yeah, thank you, Austin. That's the Sasky thing. We'll be right back with a full-on viewer takeover in overtime. And the face-off, by the way, which I think you won the face-off. I think you won the draw for the Mad Greek restaurant. The patio is now open. Visit them in downtown Moose Jaw. And the Ultimate Fan Zone, which is, of course, I was going to say, or have said, your home for Vegas-born merchandise, but you can get all your Stanley Cup team merchandise there at ultimatefanzone.ca. We'll be right back on Game Plus Television for our final segment, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Stars, you are dispatched to a scene call. Patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Another look at the Bell Center, the site of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final, which comes your way Friday night. Happy Canada Day, Canada, and to our friends watching in the United States on Game Plus Television. I have to say, Moose DuPont was the guy that roamed around this beautiful city. That was just this morning you did that, huh?
Just before showtime. And that's the square where there'll be 20-some thousand people out there tomorrow night watching the game. And pretty crazy. They got all the barricades up, but it's empty. It is empty when you're going down there. And but a neat spot, really neat spot.
Listen,
what?
I love it. I love it. I asked for viewer comments, and they have answered the bell. And that's what we do. That's another thing. I was telling the crew here, the guys from Transmission and Break Glass Productions, that we are an interactive show. And if we're on Facebook and I had the ability, I'd be reading the Facebook comments. But the text is fine. Text is fine. Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. From the 204, Montreal looking great. RP show in Montreal. Enjoy and be safe. Happy Canada Day. No name attached to that, Darren, but was from Winnipeg. From the 403, was great to finally meet Bob. Rod? Oh, this is from Jack in Vulcan, Alberta. Was great to finally meet Bob. Rod is the bright light to those who are where Rod was, saving lives. Much love and respect. Thank you, Jack. I was telling the guys about my recovery coaching career. I do the same thing as Bob, but just not as well. From the 587. Where's 587? I think it's Toronto.
It's Ontario, isn't it?
Where is it, Xander? You gonna look it up? This guy is tight.
I think, like,
hire that kid.
Like, I'm a little nervous because I don't want Alan to get worried, but he might want to be worried.
Alan, you might want to pick it up. Xander's on it. Ontario?
Let's see. That's
from
good.
Ontario, from the 587. He says the Habs can come back if they start scoring 2 goals per game as they are unbeaten in the playoffs. It's Toronto? Toronto would know? Yeah.
Oh, if the Habs can come back, yes.
Yeah. How befuddled were the Sportsnet guys when the Habs swept the Jets? Everybody was. And there's no name assigned to this, and it doesn't matter. I might be Troy in Toronto, I'm not sure, from Sober Athletic Wear, but from the 587s where it came from. From the 596, great show on the road. Got to try a smoked meat Sammy in old Montreal. Or as the hockey guys say, a Sandy. What did we have yesterday? Oh, egg salad sandwich. How about this one? Toronto Airport. 2 sandwiches, 2 drinks, $40. I almost jumped out of my shorts.
I know, like a sandwich in cellophane wrapping. Like,
yeah, it wasn't fancy.
It wasn't even made on the spot. It was made in a kitchen, 12 hours previously. Tasted good, though. I'll say that. Maybe it's because we had just been traveling all day. We were hungry.
But hey, we got 3 minutes left, which in television time is an eternity. So fire us a message at 306-840-8777. That is 840-8777. Whatever you want, which reminds me, I do have another one here, Moose, from the 321. Morning, Rod, and happy Canada Day from your friends at Great Western.
Oh, great.
Cheers. So if you are having Canada Day plans and you're looking to have a good time, Great Western should be your number one choice. Great Western Breweries. Please enjoy responsibly, of course. From the 587, it's your good friend, John Burns. That Tour de France fan should be convicted of hit and run as she fled the scene. How did I miss that?
I don't know.
Did you see it?
No.
Clearly all these guys did. They've been laughing their asses off ever since it came up the last time. This must have been spectacular.
I know, and now I have to find it and watch it.
Don't they have crashes like that every year at the Tour de France?
Well, yeah. Somebody
just not
comes out,
fan
as soon as
caused.
one goes down, the other does, and oh man. There's nothing worse than going head over handlebars, right? On a bike.
Butt over tea kettle.
Yes.
We'll close it with the poll question for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Can the Canadians come back to win the Stanley Cup? And the poll will be up for another 22 hours. 64% of respondents on Twitter saying no, they cannot come back to win the Stanley Cup. Well, for the last 3 series, I've been saying God's been involved. How else do you explain it? He didn't show up the last 2. Somebody didn't tell him what time the game was. For Montreal, he's going to take some divine intervention here, I think.
Yeah. He had plans today, so he took the stat a day early.
Well, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but they're making a lot of mistakes. They can play better, but they better hurry up.
Well, and you got to play right till the end. Again, we go back to that goal with 0.3 seconds left. It was a killer, right? You got to play right till the end. And Deneau tried to get back and get his stick in the lane, but we look at what ifs all the time, and we talk about you can't really go back and look at if you dumped the puck all the way in, if you just hung onto that puck a half a second longer, you'd have got to the break, and then you'd have been in a much better spot. But it's obviously really, really tough.
Well, I want to thank the entire crew here today. James, Ian, Austin, Xander from Transmission and Break Glass Productions. We'll be back here tomorrow. Our biggest thank you going to our rock star of the week, sober coach to the stars, Bobby Merrier, who, as mentioned, lined up us a bunch of guests and then turned out they were all out of town. So we're out of here. See you tomorrow on Game Plus TV. Truth's in the coffee. It's Truth Serum.